Act 2. Have an eye for. The next day, I try to clear my head as I'm walking to school, but I can't stop thinking about that girl. Should I leave class during the break to go look for her? It's going to be difficult to leave without a good excuse, though. Maybe when school's over, I'll go to where I met her yesterday and say I just happened by. But there's no guarantee she's going to be in the same place today. Besides, I didn't exactly handle that situation gracefully, leaving her like I was trying to run away. Definitely not the best first impression to make. I'll have to think of some excuse for going. Why did I even go investigate her crying in the first place? I'm not even sure I know myself. That girl, I don't even know her name. What should I call her? Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before I even think of what to call her, I have to actually find her first. I'll ask her name, introduce myself, and that'll probably be good enough. She'll probably think I'm some kind of freak, but I guess that's fine. Maybe if I just talk to her, it'll lighten some of the tension between us. I look up to find I've arrived at school. Looks like I was on autopilot again. I get inside, change my shoes, and head up to the second floor where my classroom is. As I walk up the stairs, I see something strange moving out of the corner of my eye. Peeking around the corner of the connecting hallway is a head of brown hair. It's the girl I've been seeing in my mind all morning. I seem to be the only one who notices her head popping around the corner. She must think that pose will keep her totally hidden, as if she was in a manga or something, but she really stands out, at least to me. She's moving her eye around frantically, and sure enough, she picks me out from within the sparse crowd. I'm so surprised to see her. All I can think is, why is a first-year student on the second-year floor? Before she hurries up to me. Here. She hands me a familiar handkerchief. That's right, I'd totally forgotten that I lent it to her yesterday. I take the handkerchief, which she folded neatly into a perfect square. I think she even washed it. Yesterday, thank you. As soon as she says this in her tiny voice, she runs down the stairs and vanishes around the corner. Hold on, wait! I can't stop myself from calling out, but the morning bell rings, drowning out my voice for me. Oh well, I head to my own classroom. The lunch bell rings. I stash my book in my desk and bolt out of the classroom. I didn't even get to thank that girl for washing my handkerchief. I go to look for her to say what I wanted to earlier. I have a good excuse to talk to her now. I can't let this chance slip away. I arrive at the end of the hallway, but instead of going down to the first-year classrooms, I head up the stairs. I don't know for sure, but I think there's a good chance she's going to be up here where I met her yesterday. Well, even if she's not, I can just look elsewhere. I get to the third floor and keep going up, all the way to the stairs that lead to the roof. Hey. Just like yesterday, she is sitting on the same step at the top of the stairs. I see her shoulders jolt when she hears my voice, and she looks up at me. Her mouth is opening and closing rapidly. She clearly wants to say something, but can't find the words. She's in the same position I was in yesterday, it seems. Thanks for washing my handkerchief. I didn't get a chance to say it earlier. Yeah. There's a lot of confusion in her soft voice. The fact that she's looking everywhere but at my face tells me she's not sure what to do. I'm obviously making her uncomfortable, but I'm not going to run away like I did yesterday. So this is where you eat your lunch, huh? Do you mind if I join you? I say this as gently as possible as I notice the lunchbox she's got perched under her knees. That's a good place to put it, I guess. Yeah, if you're going somewhere during lunchtime, you're probably bringing your lunch as well. While we're talking, I take out my own lunch. Now that I think about it, I don't know if she has any other friends to eat lunch with. No. Her answer comes a little too quickly, and I wonder if she really means it. Her eyes start darting wildly around the corridor in her effort to avoid making eye contact, and she begins to look even more nervous. Thanks, I'll just sit down on these steps. She didn't tell me to go away, at least. I take a seat next to her and unpack my lunch. This seems to startle her when she leans away from me as she's trying to escape. As if she's trying to escape. I sat next to her, but it's not like I'm that close to her. I'm a little offended. While I'm unpacking my lunch, I look her over as casually as I can manage. Up until now, I was fixated on her eye, but the rest of her appearance is pretty striking as well. Her head is covered in bandages, her hair is messy and unkempt, her uniform looks like it's been ripped apart and only partially stitched back together. I catch glimpses of the skin on her shoulders and stomach, and it looks far from normal. I notice that she has bruises, maybe birthmarks, I'm not sure with, all over her legs, her neck, and anywhere else that I can see. The skin on her dainty limbs look white as a ghost's. She doesn't look healthy by any standard. Is that... Suddenly our eyes meet. I guess I was staring too obviously. We quickly break eye contact, but she keeps shooting me sidelong glances, like she's worried I'll attack her or something. I'm clutching my chopsticks, but my lunch remains untouched. The long silence is getting uncomfortable. I try to strike up some conversation. Come to think of it, I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Fukunaga Mamuro. What's your name? It's Usui Sachi. Sachi, huh? Nice to finally meet you. Nice to meet you. It looks like she's not too talkative, though I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I have to keep the conversation going somehow. Do you always eat lunch up here? Does anyone else ever come up with you or anything? Yes, I always eat here. No one else comes with me. Maybe that was too forward, but the fact that no one else comes up with her isn't too surprising. She's probably always alone. She shifts her attention onto me, watching me cautiously. Is she that afraid of me touching her? Whoa. When did we go to touching? I see. So what do you do during lunch break then? Read, finish homework, a few other things. Oh really? What kind of book are you reading? I haven't really read any novels lately. Sorry, says she, cries out abruptly, her voice rising like she's about to lose her mind. My lunch, I'm done, so excuse me. No sooner does she say this than she scoops up her almost untouched lunchbox and runs down the stairs. I can't really chase after her with my lunchbox sitting open on my legs, so she leaves me behind. I've just been run out on, and silence falls over the stairwell. I guess trying to force conversation like that backfired. Sachi only ever replied to my questions with a few words at a time, but she kept looking over me with her worried eye. Did I really make her that uneasy? Is it that hard for her to open up to me? This girl seems to lead a very troubled life, and I might not ever be able to get close to her. No, just because I had one unsuccessful experiment doesn't mean I should give up. Before, I thought I'd be satisfied if I just spoke to her once, but now I have an overwhelming desire to get to know her. I have to become friends with her now, no matter what. I can't give up. I have to keep trying. Yeah, well, being enthusiastic about it is one thing, but there's nothing I can do right now. I might as well eat my food. While I think of a way to meet her again, I finish off what's left of my lunch. But it's so quiet here now. I thought that no matter where in the school you were during lunchtime, you would be able to hear students' lively voices. But they barely reach this lonely place. It's like I'm in another world. The voices of the students talking down below are so quiet that the sound of my chopsticks clicking against my lunchbox is like a hammer on stone. Even the sound of my shirt rustling as I move is like the howling of the wind in comparison. How can she eat like this every day? As I close my emptied lunchbox, I make up my mind. I absolutely have to become friends with her. Returning to my classroom, I catch Tomo and Akimi just as they are finishing their lunches. Hey, where'd you go? The two of us ate our lunches all together all alone. Come to think of it, I never said anything to them as I left. Oh, my bad, I finished my lunch too. Where'd you run off to? Hey, have you guys seen a first-year girl with a really unusual appearance? What do you mean by that? A first-year girl, the one with the ocular issue? Yeah, that sounds like her. Oh, hold on. Oh, I got the wrong voice. Let me just read you that. A first-year girl, the one with the ocular issue. Yeah, that sounds like her. Huh? What? What are you talking about? Something I don't know? Oh, this probably isn't something you'd want to hear. It's not really a happy story. Wow, rude! You shouldn't keep things from your friends. That's not what I meant, but... Anyway, why do you want to know about her? No reason, I just heard about her and got curious, that's all. Do you know her? Personally, no. I've seen her around, but I've never talked to her. As for what I've heard about her, I'm not sure if it's true or not. It might all be just baseless rumors. That's fine. Just tell me what you know. Are you sure you really want to know? Tomo looks side to side like he wants to make sure no one else is listening, even though the three of us are alone in here. Yeah? Alright. He promptly turns away from me and stares at the floor, looking as though he's trying to stare into another dimension. Fine, but take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. A first-year student in class 2, female, name Yusui something. I only remember her family name, but she only has one eye. Wait, one eye? You mean she lost one in an accident? She didn't lose one, she only ever had one. Right in the center of her face. One big eye. What? You mean she was born that way? I don't know the details, but it seems that she was. I've only ever seen her from afar, but I really don't think that's an injury. There's really a person like that in one of the first-year classes? I've never seen her, or even heard about her, not once. Well, we are in a different year from her, but regardless, I guess she's trying hard to stay hidden, both from the other students and from herself. What do you mean she's trying to stay hidden from herself? I told you it wasn't a happy story. Tomo makes a quick glance at Akimi. He seems worried to have said so much about Sachi around her, though it's not like I forced him to tell me. Yesterday he avoided the subjects of the school celebrities. Was that because he didn't want to talk about Sachi? That's all I've heard, but she does have a startling appearance. She's definitely not normal. Maybe she's creepy, maybe not, but you have to admit that at the very least she's unusual. She's fascinating to some and scary to others. I'm sure there are plenty more who find her disturbing. From what I hear, she's always covered in wounds. It's hard to believe they're all accidental, considering how many she has. So in that case, could they be from someone beating her up?
If someone at her home is hurting her, I couldn't tell you. But there's a real possibility she's been bullied at school.
Could that be it? Before I wasn't sure what caused all her injuries, but thinking back, what Tom was saying is making sense. Doesn't anyone try to protect her?
I told you, all I know is rumors, not details,
But?
There's another student who's also a little famous, and I think she's the one responsible for bullying the girl.
It's not Ruichan, is it? This catches me off guard. Akemi, normally so loud, speaks in a hushed tone. Now that I think about it, she's been abnormally quiet the whole time Tomo's been telling us about Sachi. I always figured Akemi would be the first to denounce bullying whenever she sees it, but... Do you know her?
I wouldn't say we know her per se. We just ran into her several times during middle school.
Doesn't that mean they know her? Akemi seems to be staring into space now, thinking.
Anyway, whether or not we know her doesn't really matter. But yes, the alleged assailant is this girl, Qa'Rajh. I've heard that she's from a well-off household and was pampered growing up. As a result, she's very self-centered. That's the impression I got when I first met her, but there's probably more to it than that. She's really popular among the other students as well. That also contributes to her behavior, or at least I think so.
I see. Thanks for telling me. I can find out the truth of this on my own later on, but I think I'm starting to understand more of the situation now. So what do you think of this one-eyed girl? As Tomo said, the fact is that Sachi is very unusual, and I'm curious to know what he thinks about her. Depending on his response, I may have to change my plans.
I just told you what I think. So tell me, what were you doing during lunch? Why are you so concerned about this?
I didn't plan on hiding it, but I guess I couldn't have anyway. Tomo seems to understand what I was getting at. I can't fool you.
You made it too obvious. As I said before, I only have trivial information. You shouldn't judge a book by her cover, so to speak. I haven't concerned myself with her until now because I didn't have any reason to. That said, if you want to help her out, you have my support.
I see. Well, thanks. I didn't think there'd be any problems, but still, I'm glad Tomo's so eager to help. I keep my face expressionless, but I breathe an internal sigh of relief. Wait, did you actually meet this girl, Makun? Akemi quickly returns to her previous loud demeanor. Yeah, I did. No fair! I want to make friends with this girl too! Makun, introduce me! Yep, Akemi's back to her old self. The way she's acting before was so unlike her. She seemed very worried when Sadakawa and her bullying came up, but now it's like she wasn't even here for that part of that conversation. At least I don't have to worry about Akemi being nice to Sachi if they ever meet. She's so damn friendly. I'm not sure how I would do that. I mean, I'm not really friends with her, Come on, what are you trying to say? I mean, it's just... She's not used to talking with people, and I think talking to someone like you would be really overwhelming for her. What's that supposed to mean? You don't want me to meet her? That's definitely not fair.
It's because your voice is capable of leveling buildings.
Hey, come on. It's not like I'm going to giving a speech about a huge audience. It's no exaggeration to say I'm a professional and having a super relaxed conversation with guys, girls, kids, and even dogs, cats, and lizards.
It's definitely an exaggeration. You're intimidating with that loud voice of yours, and that meeting is going to end with that girl running away in tears.
That's right. I know these two are good people, and as much as I'd want to introduce them to Sachi, I don't think suddenly coming by with 2 more people is a good idea when she barely even knows me. Boo! What about Tomo then? I don't think that would work either. Don't you think she'd just be a little scared if 2 guys she doesn't really know walked up to her and started talking to her? She pouted at Tomo. He's right. I don't exactly have the friendliest face. It's safest if you just meet her on your own for a little while. It's true. He's really tall and always has somewhat of a strange look in his eye. I'd probably scare her enough all on my own, but if I brought Tomo along, she'd probably scream and run away. Oh. Sorry, you two. Fine. I get it. I'll give you a little while. But someday you have to introduce me. Sure, I promise. Good luck. If you need help, just ask us. Thanks. If it comes to that, I'll gladly take your offer. Oh. And that was another act. So it says... Oh, was it? No, we are in Act 2, aren't we? So unless it goes to another... The next day, lunch. I'm going to try to find Sashi again today. But first... Alright, I need some help, but let's make this quick. We're holding a war council as we're finishing up our lunches. Quick it is. What do you think is the best way to become friends with her? What makes you think I know? Okay, no, not just her. I mean, in general, how do you make friends? Didn't you have any friends at your old school? Well, yeah, but... Then you should know, shouldn't you? No, it's not like I had to try to make friends. I had just become friends with some people without even realizing it, I guess. That's why I need advice. That's kind of what happens to everyone. Okay, my turn now! Akemi, who'd been silent up until now, suddenly shouts, startling me. Honestly, I don't think she'll have any useful advice on this subject, but I want to eat my lunch, so I stay quiet and let her talk. Marco, the answer is simple. You just have to remember when you first met us. It's a little depressing if our first meeting is the only frame of reference she has. When I met you? Yeah, because we became friends pretty easily, of course. It's not like you could resist my fantastic charm, but still. No, at the time I was thinking these guys are weird. I only got to know you out of morbid curiosity. What? That's mean! The fact that you're able to get along with us nerds means you're also weird, doesn't it? I'm not denying that. No! Deny it! I don't know what you're so worried about. You're more sociable than me and you're not as loud as Akemi. Why are you guys always ganging up on me? Anyway, the point is that you don't want to scare her away, right? Yeah, pretty much. You're ignoring me again! And you are going to find her today, right? Yeah, I'm planning to, but I want to eat my lunch here. Last time I met her, having food with me just got in the way. Besides, I don't want to spend the entire lunch break with her and leave those two hanging. Are you sure you can stand being away from us? Sometimes I think this guy can read minds. He doesn't really look it, but he does care about other people. I think I'll manage. I'm more worried about leaving you alone with Akemi. Don't remind me. I do like having someone else around who can keep this fool in check. What did you just call me? I wonder if I should even go. You sure you can keep her in check on your own if I'm not here? Then again, Sachi would be finishing up her lunch soon. I've been finishing up my lunch in a hurry as we were talking as well. Since Sachi's eating alone, she probably won't take long to finish her food. Sachi? Is that the one-eyed girl?
Come to think of it, I don't remember her whole name. Alright, Yusui Sachi. Sachi, huh? Well, she'll be Sachan then. You'll finally introduce me to her, I'll call her Sachan. That reminds me, when I first met Akemi, she immediately gave me the nickname Makun, and she didn't seem to care that I'd only known her for about a minute. Not that I dislike her, but the speed at which she gets close to people is a bit unsettling, to say the least. You're deciding a nickname before you even met her. Well, I'm not the one who's going to meet her, Makun. Hurry up and introduce her to us so I don't have to worry about her befriending her on my own. Yeah, I get it. In that case, I'd better hurry so Akemi doesn't have to think too hard and risk shorting out her brain. My brain isn't going to short out. Hey, wait a minute. Good luck. Thanks. I glanced at the whining Akemi before packing up my lunchbox and leaving the classroom. Of course, there's no guarantee I will actually find her. Sachi is probably just finishing her lunch by now, and I'm sure she'll go somewhere else when she does. There's also the possibility she chose to eat somewhere else in order to avoid me. I guess I won't know until I go, though. Alright, she's here after all. Same place, same frightened look. Hey, how's it going? Hello? Is she on guard again this time? She seems calmer than she did yesterday. It looks like she just finished her lunch. Her lunchbox is closed. Now what do I do? I suppose I should think of something to say first of all. I'm not trying to scare you or anything. I just want to be friends, you know? Friends? Her darting eye tells me that I still don't have her trust quite yet. The only thing I can tell for sure is that she is suspicious of me. Yeah, do you not want me here? You don't have to leave, but... In that case, can I talk for you for the rest of the lunch break? Okay. Great. She hasn't rejected me yet. Alright, thanks. I sit down on the stairs next to her, same as yesterday. What were we talking about yesterday? Oh, right, something about books. Yeah, books. You like reading books, right? Do you read manga and stuff? I like reading novels, mostly. Just novels. I see. So you don't like manga then? No, I like them. It's just I don't have any money for manga novels either. I borrow books from the library, the school's library. I mean, they don't have manga. So that's it. Hey, if you want, I can lend you some of my manga. I have a few novels too, not just manga, but I'd figured that she'd be more interested in what she hasn't gotten as much a chance to read. Huh? Are you sure? Yep. What genres do you like? I mean, I don't have a ton, but my collection is not too small either. I can lend you some of my favorites. Is it really okay? You shouldn't go out of your way for me. I said it's fine. It's really not a big deal. I'm just happy we have something in common. I see. Thank you very much. If you have some you want to read, let me know. So, what genres do you like? Any genre is fine, besides scary stories or painful ones. Horror is no good then. You don't have a favorite genre then? Sorry. There's no reason to apologize. Alright. The book you were reading yesterday, what was it? Can you let me see it? This? She pointed at the book she's laid aside next to her. It's a science fiction book. Sci-fi? You don't look like you'd be interested in that sort of things. I read those too, actually. I really don't care about it. Genre. If it's interesting, I'll read it. Anything that's interesting is good, right? This looks like a good book. Anyway, I'll try to choose some I think you'll like. Why don't I bring some of the ones I usually recommend to people? Okay, I'd really
appreciate that. Yeah, no problem. By the way, how is this book? I've heard of it before, but I've never actually read it. It's okay, I guess. There's a lot There's a lot less tension between us now than there was yesterday. Her voice is still shaky and afraid, but it looks like she's becoming more comfortable with me. She may not be used to talking with other people, but it doesn't seem like she's opposed to a good conversation either. And then the bell interrupts us. Time to go already, huh? But at least I was able to talk to her more. That's something to be happy about. Oops, we should get going. Right. The two of us stand up and start heading down the stairs. Come again tomorrow, okay? I'll bring the manga, I promised. Okay, Mamuro-senpai? Yep. I stop on the steps and turn back towards Sachi. Her voice is so quiet that it's hard to hear over the sound of our footsteps. I'm really sorry. Really? I don't mind lending out 1 or 2 books. It's not that. Coming up here to talk to me. What is she getting at exactly? Usually when people offer to do nice things for you, you say thanks, not sorry. Not that you have to bow or anything like that. Actually, I should be thanking you for talking to me. Sorry. There you go again. Sorry. I mean, thanks. Thank you. Yep, I'm glad I can help. We're descending the stairs as we talk, and before I know it, we're at the 2nd floor where my classroom is. She's got 1 more floor to go since she's a first-year student. Alright, this is my stop. See you tomorrow. Sure, tomorrow then. We go our separate ways. Sachi goes to the 1st floor while I'll return to my classroom on this floor. Well, I did it. I only just met her, but surprisingly we actually made a promise to meet up again. It's only been a day, but I feel like we've gotten much closer. While I'm in my afternoon classes, I think about what kind of manga I should lend her and try to remember what's on my bookshelves. And then, the next day. Morning. I enter my classroom and notice Akemi and Tomo are already here. They both seem very confused as they look from me to the paperback I'm holding. Wow, Makun, what's that? Are you opening a store? I was talking to Sachi a bit yesterday and I told her I'd lend her some manga. I think you brought a few too many. Tomo sounds more surprised than anything. Yeah, I think you may be right. The medium-sized paperback I brought along seems to be sagging under the weight of the manga inside. Didn't you notice how heavy it was when you tried to lift it? I guess I didn't somehow. Is Sachan an Amazon or something? She's gonna have a hard time carrying that bag home otherwise, you know. Yeah, I'm starting to worry about that myself. I don't think it'll be impossible for her, but it would probably be hard. Don't you think it would be better to give the books to her a few at a time? I guess so. I'll let her borrow them all eventually, I suppose. Aside from that, though, I've got something more urgent I need to take care of right now. I quickly turn to Akemi and bow my head. Huh? What's up? Please let me see your homework. You didn't do it. This is the 2nd time today I've heard Tomo sounding surprised. That's a record, I think. No, yesterday I was looking through my bookshelves to find books I could lend Sachi. I was flipping through each book to determine whether or not it would be good for her, and well, that's all I ended up doing last night. You're saying you spent the whole day reading manga instead of doing your homework? I suppose that's it in a nutshell, yeah. So, Akemi, help me out! Incidentally, the reason I'm asking Akemi, despite the fact that she's kind of an airhead personality-wise, is that she's actually a really good student. I wouldn't say she's smart, exactly, but she does seem like the studious type. That's not to say that Tomoyori's grades are bad or anything, but it's easier to ask Akemi than him. Well, I guess I have to. I'll think of it as an investment into my future rendezvous with Sachan. Wait. Don't put weird obligations on me. No, I'm just setting the table so we can meet her sooner. Setting the table? We're not going out to eat. So you don't want to see my homework then? I will concentrate wholly on the work at hand, so please allow me to see it. Ooh, very nice. Okay. Lunchtime. Before I can think about which books I'm going to lend her, I have to haul all the manga I brought up the stairways to the roof first. Hey, what's up? Hello, Mamuro-senpai. What's that? Her gaze shifts onto my paper bag. Does it really stand out that much? I picked out some manga for you to read, but I guess I brought a few too many. There are a lot. Do you walk to school? Yes. I thought you might. I brought you 2 or 3 different series, so go ahead and pick out what you want to read. You can take a few at a time. I don't want to overload you. Sorry. Nah, I'm the one who should be apologizing. Anyway, check these out. Okay. The bag crinkles as I dig my hand into it, and I pile up a tower of manga on the steps. Sashi cautiously extends a hand towards the tower, but she looks like she's about to commit a grave sin. I guess she's never borrowed a manga from anyone before. She looks scared for some reason. But she starts to thaw through them, and as she's reading the summaries and flipping through the pages of the books, her expression loosens up a little by little. This one is really interesting. Oh, I saw a bunch of copies of this one lined up at the bookstore a little while ago. This one, if I remember right, they say they were going to make it into a movie. So, did you find one you like? Yes, they all look so interesting. I can't decide. This one and this one. Wait, no, this one. I wait patiently as Sachi begins to fidget restlessly and turn her head to me for guidance. There's no hurry. Pick whichever you are. The bell drowns out my sentence. More time had passed than I'd realized. Sorry. Okay, I'll take this one and this one. Hey, are you doing anything after school or going right home? I'm going right home. I can help you carry them to your house. After class, wait for me at the school's gate. Huh? I hastily pack the manga back in the paper bag. Before she can say anything, I'm already heading down the stairs with the bag in my arms. Just before I turn the corner, I catch a glimpse of Sachi and say, "See you after school." Wait, senpai! Having more or less forced this onto her, I leave the shaken Sachi and return to my classroom. Oh, not the most subtle way of doing it. After school. I leave the school building carrying the heavy paper bag. I have no idea how far Sachi's house is from the school, but it wouldn't be right to make her carry all this home. Come to think of it, I don't even know where her house is. I don't know what I'm going to do if it's far in the opposite direction of my house. No, I agreed to this, so even if it is in the opposite direction, I'll go all the way there. I really didn't think this through, did I? Now that I think about it, it's like I'm tricking her into showing me where her home is. Isn't it kind of creepy if someone you've only known for a few days finds out where you live? What if she thinks I'm creepy? As I'm thinking about this, I leave the gates and survey the area. Where's Sachi? I suddenly worry that she silently left without me. I guess I was too pushy. I didn't even wait for her to agree to let me walk her home. If she decided to go home on her own, it wouldn't be out of place, and I would have no right to complain anyway. If that's the case, wouldn't she have come to my classroom to give me back my manga first? Senpai? No sooner do I hear her voice than I realize she's standing next to me, looking up. Where the hell did she come from? She really snuck up on me. Shall we go? I look over and confirm that it is in fact her next to me, then watch as she quickly leaves the campus, staring at the ground with an uneasy expression. It seems like she wants to avoid being seen. Nope. I continue after her, hauling the heavy paper bag along. About 10 meters on, we turn down a narrow side road, and she slows down to a more normal pace before turning to look at me. She seems to have forgotten what she was about to say. Sorry for forcing you to do this. You must think I'm a jerk. No, you're not a jerk. I wouldn't go that far. I think I should go home alone. I don't want to cause you any trouble. I seem to think about it a bit before thrusting the manga-filled bag at Sachi. She hurriedly throws out her arm to try and take it, but... Eee! As I take my hands off the bag, Sachi falls forward under its weight. The bundle of books lands with a deep thump as it hits the ground. Yep, turns out she isn't an Amazon after all. See, that's too heavy for you, isn't it? That's why I'm carrying it for you. If you do hate me though, you should say so. I pick up the bag of manga again. But isn't it going to be a pain for you? Nope. If it was a pain, I'd tell you. Don't worry about it, Sachi. Am I the one being a pain here? If you think about it, isn't following someone you barely know to her house kind of rude? No, I don't mind if it's you follow me to my house. Oh, she's starting to like us. Really? Well, I'm glad. So, which way is your house? This way. Alright, let's get going. Okay. The two of us start walking at a steady pace, side by side. Oh. Sachi takes short steps, but since I'm weighed down by the heavy books, I match her speed perfectly. What's up? Which way is your house if it's in the opposite direction? I mean, if that's the case, I can carry the manga on my own. Interesting. Sachi started to talk to me on her own. That makes me strangely happy, even if it's only a minor thing. Mamuro-senpai? No worries, this isn't the street I usually take, but my house is in this general direction. What street do you turn on? I don't turn... Oh, I mean, the street changes, but basically I head in this direction the whole way. I see. That's good. My house is pretty much straight ahead, so we're probably right in the same neighborhood. Does it take you long to get to school? I think I'm pretty close. Doesn't take too long or anything. Is that so? Cool, cool. Isn't that heavy? I can help you carry it. I'm telling you, it's fine. I did drag this all the way to school from my house this morning, you know. Oh, okay. Sorry. Come on, I'm the one who invited myself to come along with you, so there's nothing you need to apologize for. You're not doing anything wrong. Well, okay, thank you. No problem. Anyways, tomorrow's the weekend, isn't it? Don't worry about rushing through the books. Just get them back to me. Just to get them back to me. You have plenty of time after all. Yeah, I guess so. Thank you. The two of us lapse into silence for a while as we continue on. On the way, I notice something. Even though we're generally headed in the same direction when we started, Sachi keeps changing streets. I think it's because she's avoiding the streets with a lot of people on them. On top of that, whenever we get to the end of a street, she bows her head as she walks, looking down at the ground. Hey, is your house on the other side of the shopping mall? I wanted to stop looking down, so I tried to strike up a conversation once again. No, we're not going that far. It's just a little farther from here. We should be able to see it soon. I see. My house is a little ways behind us. It's a different street, but we really are in the same neighborhood. Oh, really? That's my house over there. She pointed to a house a little ways ahead of us. Oh, this is your place, huh? We've arrived at a solitary small nondescript house. Thank you very much. I can take them up to my room from here. Okay, sure. I gently hand her the manga, being sure not to drop it into her arms this time. Then, with a metal clack, the door to Sachi's house opens. Surprised, the two of us turn around at the sound. The woman who comes out stares back at me for a moment, but she quickly focuses on Sachi, narrowing her eyes. Aunt Mayumi, are you going out? Sachi looks like she's about to cry as she lowers her head, trying to avoid looking at the woman. The person Sachi refers to as Aunt Mayumi is a slender woman with perfect posture, and two normal eyes instead of one giant one. Yes, something urgent has come up at work. Sachi, who is this boy? She looks me over from top to bottom, her face grave and unsmiling. Her eyes creep into the bag I gave Sachi. She's beautiful, but her stare is so icy it sends shivers down my spine. This from school, a student. Sachi's voice is tiny and she bows her head again, flustered, and I'm not sure the woman can hear her. Should I try to point that out? She turns to Sachi, but before she can speak, I open my own mouth. I am Fukunaga Mamuro. I recently transferred schools and met Sachi a few days ago. I came with her so I could carry the bag of books and manga I'm letting her borrow. I try to say this as politely as possible, but I'm probably talking way too quickly. I see. Thank you for doing that for her, Mamuro-kun. Her speech is polite, but she says this in a very flat tone, and it's hard to tell what she's thinking. Of course. Now I must get going. Sachi, since you're late, you'll have to eat alone. Okay. With that, the woman rushes out of the house. I watch her for a bit until she turns the street corner, but she never looks back this way. A family member, eh? You called her your aunt? Yes, my mother's sister. I'm living with her right now. I see. I want to ask about a family situation, but swallow the thought and ask what I'm thinking is more important. That woman, your Aunt Mayumi, does she treat you badly? Huh? No, not at all. I can't really seem to get close to her, though. Oh, I don't know if Sachi's bad at telling lies or not, but it doesn't seem like a lie, at least. She might be getting her injuries from being bullied at school after all, but without knowing how her family treated her, I couldn't be sure. Okay, I'm going home. You can return the manga whenever. Oh, sure, really. Thank you so much. See you next week. Yeah, see you. Sachi hoists the bags of manga up with a grunt and heads inside. After making sure she's made it inside all right, I start walking toward my own house. I'm worried that our relationship isn't coming along as well as I had hoped, but at least she doesn't seem like she's being abused by her family. At any rate, I think I've gotten just a bit closer than we were before, and I smile as I think about that. Ooh. And we cleared out another episode. Oh. So, next episode we'll go through to Act 3. But until then, take care.